to Tactics and Touchline podcast, and today we are going to discuss about the Fantasy League. So from now onwards, you'll be seeing a background like this and me on set educating you about Fantasy League. If you are new to the Fantasy League, don't worry. You'll be seeing content like this when you follow our Tactics and Touchline Fantasy podcast. So we have a Fantasy League where we are going to introduce you to the league, tell you what you need to know about the Fantasy League. So be part of this program, subscribe to the channel and also follow so that you can get fantasy content every weekend then. So let's start. The Fantasy League, what is it about? The Fantasy League is an EPL initiative where they introduce the Fantasy League for you to become a manager. And become a manager, how much do you get to buy players and also go through your managerial position in the EPL Fantasy League content? So today, I'll break everything down for you so you get to understand what the Fantasy League is about, how much you need to spend, what are the points you need to gain, what are the chips or the wild cards you need to have, and we'll crown it up with our Fantasy League where we'll be having a weekly reward, a monthly reward, and also a yearly or at the end of the season reward. And the fantastic thing is our weekly reward will come with you being invited to the show where you would also share your content or share other things you got to know about the Fantasy League, how you selected your players, what we should expect from you also in the next week coming up. So you'll be part of the program, so you need to watch and also like and also be part of it. The Fantasy League, as I said, was introduced by the EPL some years back, and some managers has been on it for years and years onwards. Some had the chance to even get to the EPL games through the Fantasy League. So with this, at the end of the season, if you are top of it, EPL would give you a ticket to go to some of their games and also be part of the euphoria around the EPL game. So it's not just you playing, but you also having fun, entertaining yourself, and getting the chance to experience some of the most exciting games going on in the EPL. So someone will ask, what is the Fantasy League? It's a league where you would have money to be able to buy players and also introduce yourself into the managerial forms. I know you'll be sitting behind your TV watching games and be like, this manager should have done this or should have done that. But you have the chance to now pick your players, and when they perform in real time, you get a chance to also be part of the show. So someone will ask, how would I get to join this fantasy thing? The first thing you need to do is you go to your Play Store, your App Store, and you get a chance to download. So if you go to your Play Store, you see Premier League official app. With the Premier League official app, you now click on download and download it. Also on Play Store, you can get something like this similar to the logo and also the Premier League official app. You download it. It's very simple to register. So registering, you just go onto the app, you click on open. This interface, the interface is very nice and very simple. So you go to the more and now you create your account. So creating your account, I'd advise that you have the chance to use your X, your Facebook, and also your Gmail, but I'd advise that you use your Gmail or your Google accounts to become part of it, and also it will connect with your Google details and everything. So the more where you see everything about it. The next one is also the Explore page. So the Explore page, you get other informations about the Fantasy League. Then also the match side, you get details of matches that are coming up and everything. Now let's move into the fantasy. Here, after you've joined, you need to create your team. You need to name your team. How do you want to name your team? You put that there, then you move into the next one. So when you click on select name, now you become part of the Fantasy League. 100 million to be able to make players. So you need to select 15 players. That is 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, and also 3 attackers with also 2 goalkeepers. So it comes to 15 for you to make your team. And as you can see, it was a random pick that I just made for you too. But after the show, I'll give you expect squad, what you need to look at to be able to make your fantasy team also a reality. So that going on next season, any league you get to join, you can also be part. We'll go into the joining league also, which I'll explain better for you to know how to join our fantasy league, so that you don't just join, you can also win amazing prizes to be part of the show week in, week out, and also share your content with us. Let's look at the scores you can gain in fantasy league. Someone will ask, joining the fantasy league, how many points can I make? What can I also do? So if a player plays from minute 1 to minute 60, you are guaranteed a 2 points for that. When a player scores a goal, an attacker or midfielder, you get 3 points for that. When a defender, you are getting 6 points also for that. And also assist, you get 3 points on assist per player. So if it's a goalkeeper, you get 4 points out of that. If it is a defender, you are getting 3. Any winger or a striker, you are getting 3 out of it. And when a goalkeeper keeps a clean sheet, you are making 4 points out of it. And when a goalkeeper make 3 saves in a game, you are making 1 point each also from that. And when a player gets a yellow card, you are being deducted also 1 point. So you need to pick players who are not going to have a lot of issues getting yellow cards and red card. And when there's a red, you are getting 3 points being deducted from your total point. When you choose a player, you now pick a captain and also a vice captain. So an advice I'll give you is that your captains needs to be players who gives more points. They are scoring more goals or giving more assists. So with this, your captain's numbers are being doubled. So let's say at the end of the week, your captain gets 10 points. Your captain will now be doubled to 20 points. That's later I'll explain to you. There is a chip you need to use every day to the 15th of August. So what I'll tell you is that we would have weekly shows where we'll be giving you update on what the fantasy league is going up. We invite experts for them to also give us update on what we should do, so that before the 15th of August, where you can't make any transfers, you can now add more players to your team. One advice I'll also give you is that the chips that comes in fantasy league, they have 5 chips available in the fantasy league. The first one is the Wildcard, where you can make changes to your whole team without any deduction. If you make a transfer after every game week, you would be deducted 4 points, but you have free transfers every game week for 5 game weeks. So after that, it would all go off and you have to generate another one. So every game week, if you have 1 and you want to make 2, you'll be deducted for 4 points for every transfer you make. That is where the wild card comes in. So with a wild card, you get a chance to now make unlimited transfers for that week without no deduction. And also there is the free hit chip, where with that one you can also use it during the week. And with that one, any players you move out of your team, next week they will come in. So for example, there is a match being postponed where you have some key players in your team and you want to move them out. You can now move them out, bring new players, and next week those players return to your team. The triple captain, that is the most exciting thing. The triple captain, your captain's pick. Now you know your captain gets double every week, but now your captain will get triple if you activate the triple captain chip. So that week needs to go for a particular captain that you think is going to give you maximum points that week. And also we have the bench boost. With the bench boost, your bench players points are now being added to your main point, which also gives you maximum points for them. So these are expert squad. I'm giving you some tips on players you need to look at, especially going into the fantasy league. And after that, I'll break them down for you to be able to know why you need to pick these players and what they also bring into the fantasy league program. Let's look at the expert squad being listed on your screen. So with the expert squad, Kelleher, he's moved to Brentford, and we know that he's going to be the number 1. We know a lot of saves he did at Liverpool, was one key player when Alisson wasn't there, and he performed so well. Vadio was one of the best centre backs or left backs in the Premier League last season, adding a lot of goals to his game, and he performed so well. Let's look at Van Dijk, also being an integral part in the Liverpool team, scoring goals from headers. He scored a lot of goals from headers last season and also kept a lot of clean sheets. Van der Ven, very tall, pacey, and also good in keeping clean sheets. So these are the centre backs I'm looking at you selecting, but you can also add 1 or 2 or take some out depending on how you want to build your team. Let's look at the midfielders. Mohamed Salah, a well-known name in the Premier League. His performance is very good. Last season, he topped with goals and also assists. And also, if you have a player like him at a good price at 14.5, you'll be able to get good numbers. So you could see the captain is on Mohamed Salah, meaning any points he makes during the week, it will be doubled for you. Florian Wirtz coming into the Premier League, big pick here because he comes at 8.5 and is a big pick for us. While we are looking at Florian Wirtz, with the Liverpool team, he'll get a chance to create a lot of chances for Mohamed Salah and also Ekitike up front. So he would be the vital player in the team, creating a lot of assists for the Liverpool team. Mohamed Kudus, an exceptional player for West Ham, moving to Tottenham Hotspur. He will be a key player in their setup with a lot of goals and a lot of assists for the likes of Solanke and Richarlison and also Song. So he will be that key player. Declan Rice, last season he gave a lot of goals up front with his box to box, getting into the box and assist. The likes of Victor Gyökeres, Saka and also Noni Madueke coming in. He will create a lot of chances. That is why he's part of our picks. Bowen, now the West Ham team will be on him. He's the penalty taker for them. He'll be the free kick taker. All their set pieces, he'll be handling it. So meaning he'll get a lot of goals in there. And we'll go to Solanke with assists, as I said. The likes of Song, Mohamed Kudus will be getting balls into the box, and he'll be one key player for them also going forward. And João Pedro, 7.5. He's the most picked player in the fantasy league before, but we'll be looking at subsequent videos to the start of the Premier League. That will be on the 15th. He is now the most picked player most picked player in the fantasy league. So you could see Chelsea's games coming up against Crystal Palace, as you could see in white, meaning it's not that of a difficult game. Against West Ham in green, showing that it's one of the good games for Chelsea. Against Fulham, against Brentford, against Man United, and against Brighton. So he has 6 good games coming up where if you pick him, you'll be able to get a lot of points from him. At 7.5, I think he's a quality player you can go for, and 58.3% owners are owning a player like João Pedro. So from now to the 15th of August, you can pick players. Let's move into the simple steps on joining and also being part of the fantasy program. So as I said, using Gmail, your X, and your Facebook are simple things you can use to join. And don't worry, you can join our fantasy community. That is where the excitement is. Every week we bring our winner onto the show, and our winner would have the chance to also explain how he built his team, franchise, and also other players he's looking at performing so well in the upcoming week. So this is just a breakdown for you to understand what the fantasy league is about. And also you scan the QR code below to join our Telegram group. Also in the description, we'll put our Telegram group link there, so you just click on it and also be part of our community, where we'll put our fantasy link there for you to also join. And also, if you are joining the group, it's very simple. When you go to your fantasy group, you see league. When you click on the league, you see join group. You enter the pin code or the code being shared in our Telegram group to also be part of our league. Join our fantasy league, win more, be part, show us our managerial skills, and also show us that you can be the best manager in the fantasy league this season. If you need any other details, join our Telegram group, ask questions, and I'll be able to answer them for you and give you any details for you to become the number 1 manager in the fantasy league this season. So don't forget, subscribe to the channel FPL podcast, where I'll give you every details on fantasy league week in, week out, for you to build a good team for yourself.